Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Katie and I am the owner of PurpleGlimmerBudgets, and I decided that I wanted to go ahead and do a studio vlog, so if this is something you like to watch, just keep watching. I decided to take you along with me as I work today because this is the first day that I've actually felt human. I've been sick over the last few days, so I haven't been able to get a lot of work done. I've been getting a lot of orders in, so I'm very thankful for that. Today's also the last day of my husband's contract job, so after today, he's back to being unemployed, which means another waiting week for us, which means a week of no money. So that'll be interesting. He has a bunch of interviews, but he's had a bunch of interviews, so I have no idea what's going to happen. This video also might kind of be all over the place because again, I'm just kind of getting over sick. Yeah, I don't look the best. I'm barely feeling human, so please be kind. But anyways, my office is a mess because I got a whole bunch of orders done and shipped earlier this week and then it all hit. So I'm pretty sure I ended up having COVID because I did a little bit of research. This is the geek in me. I'm like, what's the incubation period of COVID? And they say 2 to 14 days. I'm like, great, because I'm pretty sure I know who the culprit is. It was my oldest. He ended up being pretty sick a couple of days and ended up having, he puked in my car. And so I'm the one that got to clean that up. So I'm pretty sure that's how it all happened. So that was fun. Luckily, the only one who's really had any bad symptoms besides him is me, so that's good. That's kind of what happened last year right around this time. I think it was last year. It was when my cousin was getting married, so I unfortunately couldn't go to her wedding because I had COVID and a bunch of us had COVID, and again, my oldest was the culprit. So I think he got it from school though, so it's a little bit earlier than last year because they just started school yesterday. Today's our first full day of school, so that's another reason why I'm trying to vlog today. It is currently 6:52 a.m. so they're not up. So in the next 30 minutes or so, I'm gonna have to stop vlogging because they're gonna be getting up and I'll have to get them to school. I am still going to, for today, have my youngest, she's 3, she starts pre-K Monday, so I'm super excited about that. And then I will have 2.5 hours almost of me time where I don't have a single kid at home and I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. This is like the first time in forever. I mean, I've had a kid at home with me for the last 9-ish years because this is probably around getting close to the time in which I resigned my job at a company with HR when I had my second child, and so ever since then I've been staying at home and had a kid and then having to run kids back and forth pretty shortly after because our oldest got into pre-K for like 2 years when he was like 3, 4-ish, so, and there was about 2 years between my 2 boys. So anyways, this is probably gonna be a chatty video because that's just how it is. So I need to get on the computer and find out what is all in your orders. I've kind of done some stuff. I've done some of the 3D stuff. I just need to make sure that this is comparable to the samples I made to make sure that I got the dimensions right, and then just kind of clean them up and finish them off. I had one of these dashboards that printed horribly, so I need to reprint that later today. And then I got to see what else I need to do and kind of get together a game plan. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and print off all my invoices. Okay, so I knew I wanted to start with my invoices to print to make sure that my printer is okay. And it obviously is not, so I will need to mess with that. I was printing my kids' like first day of school signs and there's lots of black, and so obviously it really messed up. And my printer's not even saying anything is weird when it comes to my ink. So I'm pulling up my printer stuff here on my computer. Now I'm going into settings and seeing what my ink levels are. So my black is running low, which that's understandable. I moved the ink over there, so I'll have to go check in a second. I'm pretty sure I probably have plenty of ink, but this is definitely more than that because it's printing purple as green. So let me see if if I can remember what I need to do when this happens. So let me see if I have my HP utility. I do. Let's see if I can do it through here. Otherwise, I know that I can do it on the actual printer itself, because I probably need to print alignments or something, because that's not right. So I love my design for my kids' signs, but if it's gonna keep messing up my printer like this, I might have to go back to my first design. I don't know why I swapped it up to rainbow, but the first year where I took it for my oldest when he was in pre-K, I just did like black lettering, and then I did purple for whatever was in rainbow in there, and it was fine, because my kids' school colors is purple, which I love. But I switched it up, and I don't know why. I might go back to like the classic purple version at some point, and then I'm gonna go check on my ink and see what I have. Okay, obviously there's something wrong. The test page tells me nothing. Okay, so now I'm going to be cleaning my printer cartridges and see if that'll do anything, because now I'm just basically kind of flying blind with my little bit of knowledge. So this is an awesome way to start the morning. So I'm probably not going to get much of anything done. So I have all the invoices up here on my computer, so I might just use my lovely iPad to kind of figure out a game plan just using the digital versions. So that's what I think I'm gonna do. Okay, I have no idea what's going on here. This is my like diagnostic sheet and tells me what to do. I just checked. I have one black cartridge at least. I might have boxes of cartridges floating around, and I do have 2 tricolor cartridges. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna replace both cartridges and see if that works. And if it works, good. And then I will, because I don't pay for, I mean I do, but not really. I have instant ink, so burning cartridges, I don't really care. It doesn't cost me any money. I can just hop on instant ink and say, hey, I had 2 bad cartridges, send me some new ones, and they will. So that's what I think I'm gonna do. So here's the black one, and then I'm gonna go grab the tricolored one, swap them out, and then try and print a couple invoices, and we will see. Okay, I'm just printing the first 2 invoices now because I print 2 invoices to a page, and I'm gonna see how that turns out. And if they turn out good, then I will run a whole bunch of them through. Okay, so I sent it to the printer, and then I got the lovely, your ink cartridges are not communicating properly to your printer. So this can be fun. The fun fact, I have a printer that's been sitting over there for months that I was going to potentially transition to because my current printer is discontinued, and it kind of had been acting up a little bit. So I was like, let me buy a printer that's currently manufactured that seems like it's pretty same quality and give it a try. I just haven't had a chance to do that. So in the tech world, the most common fix to things is to power something down and restart it. So I'm trying that now. When I was printing my kids' signs yesterday, they kept jamming. So my kids' signs probably messed it up, which go figure. So we will see. Okay, so that solved my problem. So luckily it was only one of the cartridges that wasn't communicating properly, and that was my tricolor cartridge, which I had a second. So I will definitely have to reach out to Instant Ink because I probably have some floating around, but on the off chance I don't, I'm gonna need some. So luckily I had the right cartridges. It's got me up and running because having my printer print the colors like this, that wouldn't work, especially considering I'm about to go into printing mode here in a second because I'm gonna have my printer running because it takes a little bit to print some of these prints in high quality while I'm getting my kids ready for school, because that was my first plan, is I like to sort through the invoices, like things I can get done really quick because they're ready to ship, and things that involve printing, and then stuff that's vinyl and stuff like that, because I like to work task oriented. That's kind of how I go. Sorry if you couldn't hear me with the printer going. I'm not sure how much it picks up, but I just continued to talk. So now I have all my invoices, and so I'm going to cut them in half and then sort through them and do the ready to ship to the sides, because those are just a matter of me putting them together and putting the thank you card with them and then the freebie and packaging them. So they're super, super easy. So let me flip through them. So these multi-page invoices, I probably won't be able to get to them completely today. I might be able to make some components, but I'm trying to crank out as many orders today as I can, just to kind of give myself some breathing room in my queue. So is this everything? I think I have okay. I'm like, I know I have 3 bingos I have to make, and I only have 1 bingo invoice, and that's because 2 orders came in right before I got sick and I just didn't get to them. So that makes sense. So this has my 3Ds, but those are done and then ready to ship items. So I have 4 orders that are ready to ship, so that's nice. So I'll be able to knock those out. This I have to go based upon what's on my computer. Okay. I'm just gonna work off my computer because it tells me more details than some of these invoices. Because I'm basically just trying to wrap my brain around, okay, what stuff do I need to send to the printer to print while I'm getting my kids ready for school. So and by that it's my like discount savings challenges primarily. So I need a 1K butterfly and that's glossy, which is super easy. I love the sparkle, but it's extra steps and it can be a pain, so that's why it's a little bit more expensive. And then this is a large order, so I can't work on that one yet. That one has foil stickers, so I'm not gonna work on that one yet, and it doesn't have anything there. Let's see. Okay, so is this my large one? I see something sold out, so I'm just gonna pull up the listing and take a look. And then this is the small. So because I have 2 butterfly challenges, I have the large and the small. So I need to make sure that I'm making the right one. And then I have a 5K butterfly. Large. And it's a sparkle cover only. Sparkle. Those ones aren't bad. And my pen does not want to keep paired. Cover. My chicken scratch is even worse legible right now. Okay, and then I have 2 bundles, 2 of my caddy bundles, so I'm super appreciative. I think I've sold like 3 now, right? I only listed 5 on them, so I gotta check. It's my purple Alana Noor I'm running a little low on. I do plan on placing another order, and so if and when that comes in, I'll be able to kind of restock that a little bit more. If I place that order, I'm going to be getting the A5 Alana in the dark purple color. So that'll be really exciting. So, but one of them, she wanted to customize something, so I don't actually have to make the midnight butterfly. The other ones, they're not the midnight butterfly, they're the standard butterfly. So I need to make a 10K. I need to just go to paper and pencil with as bad as my iPad is being today. So 10K. Okay. 10K midnight butterfly. Fly. And then I need 2 times of the 2026 because that's in there. Okay, so that should be enough to kind of keep my printer going. I don't know that I'll have enough paper from what I can fit in there, but I can at least queue them up. So that took a little while to queue everything up, which works out because I have about 2 minutes left before my kids are going to be up and moving and I need to get them ready for school. So I'll probably make sure that the printer is loaded full of paper so that way it just can keep printing as I'm working with them, because I just sent like a bunch of paper over there. My small binders, that's like 10 sheets of paper that I have to print for that. My larger ones, that's anywhere from 20 to 25 pages. And so, and then, yeah, it's crazy. And good thing I double checked some of these because I was looking at the 10K midnight butterfly, but I was trying to print the normal butterfly and I almost printed the wrong one. Luckily, my printer had so many other files too, so I just got to hit cancel. So that way I didn't accidentally print the wrong thing. So I have about 7 jobs queued up, so lots and lots of paper. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and leave you guys here, and I will be back after they have gone to school and I've gotten things situated. So I will check back with you guys later. Bye. Hey guys, welcome back. So my kids got off to school fine, and then I came down and I started filming a little bit more, and then craziness just ensued. My printer started going haywire again, so I'm just kind of going over some of the prints to see which ones are good quality. Luckily, the areas in which it messed up in, it's not important to the product. It's more important to my cutters. So I think a lot of this is salvageable. I think I just was making my printer try and work too hard, and it's like, no, we don't want to work this hard yet. So it looks like my Save 2026s and then my small butterfly are gonna be fine. It just started messing up on my 5K butterfly large challenge. So I paused the printer, so I'm gonna probably restart it. So let me get logged into my computer really quickly, and then restart that. So basically what happened is that, actually no, the print quality is trash on this. So let me scrutinize these. Yeah, it seems like when it got to the large butterfly, it was just like, haha, you're funny, I don't like you, and I'm gonna stop printing good. So I probably tried to work it too hard. Yeah, this is just trash, but the registration marks, those started like fuzzing out, and I'm like, well, I can probably figure out a way to salvage those, but then it started printing misaligned. So I'm just going through the ones. There's a couple that are decent quality, so I'll hang on to those. But I think just the ones with the messed up registrations, I'm just gonna trash and see how many I have. So I need 25 pages of these inserts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then whatever else prints. It looks like it's printing fine. I just think it didn't want to work that hard this morning. So I'm gonna put those to the side. The next thing I'm gonna be working on is running these through my laminator. I have both of them going. One of them's on its last leg, so I really need to get a new one. I just have been putting that off. So, but anyways, going back to kind of the chaos that ensued, my printer was going crazy. I was filming, I was talking to you guys, and then my phone rings. Well, I can answer on my watch, because if I answer on my phone, my film may squash because I film my phone. It was my doctor, because I have a doctor's appointment later today, something completely unrelated to me being sick, and they're like, your primary care provider is the wrong one on your health plan, because if you may or may not know, I'm currently on Medicaid right now because of what's going on in our current situation. I did make a whole video over it. Our whole health insurance journey during my husband not having like a full-time real job has been fun. So if you want to have a deep dive into navigating the craziness of health insurance in that situation, definitely go back and watch that video. So for a while we were on Affordable Care Act insurance, healthcare.gov. We did that for a few months. Then the situation got bad enough that Illinois is like, nope, you gotta be on Medicaid. So we're like, okay, fine, whatever. I really wasn't wanting that, but I'm like, it's okay, because our children's pediatricians at first didn't accept any Medicaid, but then I did find out that there is one health insurance plan that they do accept, because I did not want to get new pediatricians for our kids. So luckily they accept it. I'm gonna do some work, so I'm gonna chit chat as I'm running these laminators. So let me just get set up for that. Might as well be productive. So hold on, that almost fell. And there we go. Just trying to get the laminators in the right spot. So anyways, so our pediatrician does accept one Medicaid plan, so that was awesome. And so the weird thing is you like have to choose your primary care provider, which I get and is fine and all, but I'm coming to find out that even though you put who you want, that's not necessarily who they end up assigning you, which is like the stupidest thing ever. They assigned me this random doctor that I've never heard of, and so I have no desire to change. I just switched to the doctor that I have, and I really like her. So anyways, so they assigned me a different primary care provider, PCP. I might refer to it as PCP, so if I do, just know that that means primary care provider if you're not up on the medical jargon. So luckily, that's a really easy fix, so I don't understand why they don't just do it right the first time. Super excited. I thought I ruined that one, and I didn't. It looked like the laminating was like gonna wrinkle, but it didn't. So I called them up, or my physician's office called me and was like, hey, you have your appointment later today. You have the wrong doctor on your ID card, because you get your doctor is listed on your ID card. They're like, you need to call up and get that changed. So I did. I ended up calling the wrong number at first because I called like the enrollment number, because like that's the only number I could find. But I ended up getting the right number. Of course, I ended up calling it before it was opened, and then it has one of those like super sensitive IVR things, the voice recordings, and so I huffed, and then like it didn't tell me when it started opening, so I had to hang up again and call it and mute myself after I got to the right point of the message, so that way I didn't end up, because it's like, excuse me, what did you say, or something, and it wouldn't go back and tell me when it opened. So I called it like 8:15 or 8:10, and they ended up opening at like 8:30. So that was kind of funny. And I'm like, well, let me see if I can just do this all on my own and do it online. And so I'm like digging through like our massive stack of mail, which I need to get on my husband. He needs to deal with that. He's our mail person. He gets all the mail, but it just goes into a stack of doom. And I need him to kind of really get up with it, because I didn't even know that I had I had Aetna cards, because that's who the health plan's through. Because if I did and I had my Aetna card, I would have quickly seen, oh, this is the wrong doctor. Okay, that one's gonna be fun. So anyways, it was like a 10-minute phone call and it's fixed. So that is awesome. Can I tear this off at all? I did. Awesome. So that was that fun. So this is just a checkup I'm on some ADHD medication, and it's just kind of a checkup that is actually overdue, long overdue, because when we were switching between healthcare.gov insurance and Medicaid, I freaked out. I'm like, I don't know, because I've never been on Medicaid before in my life, so I don't know how it works. I knew that there was like some like one-offs and weirdness with it, because I ran into another patient at my old doctor's office who I guess was on Medicaid, and he had the wrong PCP for his plan and had to go through like a similar situation. So I kind of, my spidey senses went off that it was going to be a little bit interesting to work with. So I wasn't really looking forward to it. So anyways, just making sure it's still printing, and it is. I have that resolved, so it's just to make sure that my ADHD medications are working, and I need a refill, so I'm gonna do that. Plus I might just kind of go over what has been happening over the last few days and see if there's anything that I need to deal with. But again, I am pretty sure that I am over the worst and on the mend right now, because I feel 90% human. I mean, I'm getting a little bit like balmy and stuff, because I did turn off the AC in the earlier clip because my AC runs over there and it's loud, so I apologize if it's loud in this. It's just like, I'm like, I can't do that to myself, and I can't do that to my daughter going forward. It's still running. So I got that taken care of. And then again, with today being my husband's last day of the job, it's just kind of weird how they're like ending the contract. So I'm like 99% sure that today's his last day, but I can't say like 100% sure, because he works through a contract company who then farms him out to the real company that he's actually doing work for. Well, the contract company called him Friday and said, hey, just calling to let you know that they're gonna go ahead and wrap your contract up, and your last day is gonna be next Friday, and all that stuff. But then the owner of the company, who he normally deals with, was only gonna be in office on Monday, and he didn't really talk to him, so he doesn't really know what's going on. So I'm like, you need to call Brian, that's his contact at the company that actually writes his paycheck, to the contracting company, and just like confirm or see what you're supposed to do, because he's got a computer from the other company and see everything. Because I'm like, I would talk to Brian, because that's the company that you actually work for, and make sure that you're doing everything that they want you to do and stuff. So once he has that conversation and it's still kind of like, yeah, everything's ending, then I have to work on contacting the state of Illinois and doing like a change of income for our SNAP benefits case. Because ultimately that's kind of, I don't know why I keep messing up this side, because this is my good laminator. That's my bad laminator. Okay, sorry for that weird cut. I'll continue on the story time. My monitor thing that I used was acting funky, and so I wasn't sure if it was still recording or not. So I'm like, let me check that before I lose like a bunch of footage. So I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, so once I know everything is completely finished for his job, then I need to call the state of Illinois to get our SNAP benefits figured out. Of course, and my printer's messing up. I think that I am going to have to switch to my other printer. So that is a bit disappointing, because I was not expecting to have to do that. Although my husband has been making fun of me. I'll go back to story time in a second, of having the box just sitting there like crazy. So let me check on this. Okay, I think I have it up and running. It was yelling at me because it's like, you didn't shut your printer down correctly, because I pulled the plug on it. Because again, for some crazy reason, turning things off and turning them back on in the tech world fixes things. So I'm like, let me try that. And it worked, because the error was the printer cartridges couldn't move. It looks like it's getting messed up again. Not like bad messed up, it was just yelling at me, and it's like, load paper. Because I loaded paper, but I don't think I loaded it the way it liked. It's getting very crotchety in its old age. So again, it's probably time for me to put a high priority on transitioning to the other printer. Okay, now I think it's finally printing. I got another, the cartridges can't move error. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, let me try and push through it. So this time I was able to resolve it without having to unplug my printer. Because my printer didn't like how I reloaded the paper. So, anyways, I'm sure some of my like rambliness is just kind of like abrupt stops and transitions, and I'm sorry. That's just the ADHD in me. I like bounce all over the place. And I really hope that's my daughter coming down here and not shutting the door. Because if she shuts the door, then she can't come down here, which I want her to be able to come down here. So I think she shut the door to come down here. And my printer just messed up again. Okay, so my printer keeps malfunctioning, so I'm just gonna give it a bit of a breather and see if that helps it for now. Because then I'll play around with it this weekend, or play around with the new one this weekend, and probably transition to that one. Because it just keeps giving all kinds of errors. So, this is gonna be a very fun video to edit, because there's a lot of, uh-oh, error, let me go deal with that. Oh, I was in the middle of story time, where was I? So, anyways, what was I saying? So anyways, back to the other story that I was having. So since today is officially the last day that my husband most likely is going to be employed, I need to call the state of Illinois and get our income updated on our SNAP benefits, because those have been really, really helpful during him not being employed. Actually, we're getting more money in SNAP benefits than like what we've ever budgeted for groceries, and so I am like extremely thankful, because it's not like you have to use them in that month, so I can kind of like build that as a little bit of a cushion going forward to get us through and back on our feet when, I'm gonna keep saying when he lands his next job, because if is, I can't go thinking that way. because usually I think if and when, but I'm just gonna say when, because I want to say that we probably have at least $1,500 still left, because we got 3 months worth of snap, and I'm out of laminating sheets, so now I need to go find one of my boxes. So hold on a second. Didn't have to go very far. Now I'm just going to use random tools that are not knives or scissors, even though you probably can see on screen that I have scissors hanging right behind me, but I'm kind of bullheaded, so I'll just use what I can grab first, and it works. So we will see where we are. That's kind of the snap application is what kind of pushed us to Medicaid. I mean, I'm grateful for it, because that's $900 that we don't have to spend on health insurance, because when we were on healthcare.gov insurance, we were spending $900 for not the best insurance. My little one's here, so give me a second. What's that?
Mommy, look, it's slime.
It's this. She had to bring this to me. It's a little stretchy worm thing that I think my kids got through a fidget. So she's like, Mommy, look, it's slime. You can kind of see her a little bit over here. So I had to talk her into, I'm like, you have to wear clothes. That way if you come downstairs and you accidentally get on camera, you're dressed. So she actually has on clothes today. So can you wave to the camera? Say hi. Can you wave and say hi? So this is my little munchkin that's been home with me a lot. But she goes to school on Monday. So there's your little worm. She calls it slime. So, is it fun?
Let's find Marshall, Ryder, and some slime.
You're gonna go find Marshall and Ryder and slime?
Okay.
Okay, go find them.
Marshall, Ryder. Oh, missing.
They're missing?
It's here.
They disappeared? They're lost? Well, you better go find them.
What?
Go find them.
Mommy, look. Pumpkins eating Marshalls.
I don't see Marshall up there. I do see the pumpkin though.
It's open now. And you can bomb Marshall and the pumpkin.
Okay.
Mommy, you can open the Marshall.
Okay.
Mommy, you can't do it.
You can't what?
I'm just going to open that.
Okay. Why don't you go back upstairs and watch Paw Patrol?
Mommy, you got your phone right there?
Yeah, that's my phone right there. Can you go upstairs and watch Paw Patrol?
Okay.
Okay. She's absolutely obsessed with Paw Patrol, so that's what she's watching upstairs while I get a little bit of work done. I can tell you right now, I'm not gonna get near the work that I was hoping to get done, just because my printer is acting crazy. So luckily the stuff that I was printing, they're not due anytime soon, so I can kind of work through the printer issue and get that taken care of. But I am letting my printer rest right now, and I'll just get all this laminated. So yep, that's just kind of what's been going on here. This definitely is not turning out to be the vlog that I thought it was going to be. I was like, oh, I'll be really productive and get all kinds of things done, and it's just kind of been a little bit of a chat session as I laminate some orders. So I mean, I did get 3 of the, I think 5 challenge sets printed that I wanted, and this is my last sheet, so then they'll be laminated. I just have to get the big 5K butterfly challenge finished printing, and then I have to get the midnight butterfly challenge printed. And then the other customer that bought my bundle, she wants me to do a little something different on the A5. So I'm gonna reach out to her and ask her some questions about that. So if there's anything in my shop that you want tweaked just a little bit, definitely shoot me a message. I'm always happy to work with you guys to get you what you want if it's not what's already curated in my shop. Well, with all my printer fiasco and stuff, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and stop working for today. So I think I'm gonna end this here. Didn't turn out anywhere near what I thought, because I thought I was going to be able to have a decently productive day and get things done. And then my printer fiasco happened. I'm just going to call it a day, give myself some more time to rest. Thank you so much if you stayed to the end. If you did, go ahead and drop me favorite subject in school since it's school time. My kids just recently started school, so that's just kind of what's on my brain. So if you liked school or didn't like school, what was your favorite subject in school? Go ahead and drop me that below to let me know that you lasted to the end, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.